What is up, YouTube? Tony Dubs here. Yeah, actually incorporating video for once. I guess you could call this a little Chronic Confusion special edition since I was too lazy to change the background there. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the Ghostbusters again. Like, I didn't think I would have to say anything else about it after the one video I made, which there will be a link in the description below, which was basically just an analysis of the first trailer that came out and kind of explaining why it's getting so much hate. Not only from my perspective, but from people in general. Like, just watching the trailer and stopping it at certain points and saying, that's why. That's fucking why right there. Because of this shit. I haven't seen anything about this Ghostbusters movie that I like. I just haven't. I was always kind of indifferent to the female cast. I didn't really care one way or the other. I just wanted them to make a good movie. And trust me, folks, I know it hasn't come out yet. And you can say, oh, we haven't seen it yet. But we've seen enough, I think. Basically, I just want to do a follow-up because I have a small channel here on YouTube. Not very big. I mean, myself, I'm pretty big. But my channel is not, you know, it's very, very small. I mean, it's entry level, even though I've been doing this since 2007, I think. I've just never really done much until recently. But my Ghostbusters trailer video has been, I do believe, my most successful video to date. I think it's close to 5,000, if not over that point by now, 5,000 views. And for a channel with only 80-some subscribers, that's a pretty good fucking amount of viewers, you know? So I want to thank everybody that's watched that Ghostbusters video and commented on it, rated it, whatever. I want to thank you all for making it a success. I did want to get into something I saw right here with the Ghostbusters stuff, because recently, I think it was the Washington Post, and we might get into that too, came out with an article. Like, again, I thought we were done with this shit. I did my video, a lot of other people did videos, tons of people did videos on that shit, which is another reason I'm surprised that it did so well, because there's so many Ghostbusters trailer videos out there right now. So anyways, Washington Post, I believe, don't quote me on that, I'll have to look it up here in a second, but I believe it was Washington Post, just a few days ago, or maybe almost a week ago at this point, put out a new article about how all the hate for this film is from sexist, misogynist, blah, blah, blah. And you might like it. And I'm not saying anything bad about you if you do. If you like the trailer, fine, that's for you. Go have fun with it. But most people, the majority of the audience is saying, it doesn't look that good. It looks lazy, half-assed, you know. I don't blame the actors, whatever they want to be called these days. I do not blame them. I think they're all great at what they do. They could have made a great Ghostbusters movie. I just don't think that the director wanted to. I don't think Paul Feig really cared. And that's a big problem. It seems very uninspired to me. And, you know, the trailers weren't the only things that we had to go off of. A guy on Reddit, again, whether it's real or not, it seems pretty fucking real, actually saw the movie or worked on the movie or something like that, and posted this big write-up on Reddit about pretty much verbatim what the movie was his whole post explaining the plot and everything. And it was pretty bad, and it matched up with what was in the trailers, and I think that even came out before the trailers released. So that gave it a little bit more credence, you know? So yeah, from everything I've seen, it's not worth the money. I'm not going to do it. I tell you what, though. Sony, if you want to send me some free tickets, I'll go watch your Ghostbusters movie, and I will give my honest opinion on it. You know, like, I know I'm nobody on YouTube, but I'm just putting it out there. You know, I've been a pretty tough critic so far. Send me to this movie. If you think it's really strong, if you think it's going to hold up, the trailers were just bad or whatever, I'm not going to pay for it personally. But if I go, if somebody pays for me to go or gives me tickets, and it's a decent movie, I will tell people to see it. I will. I'm a Ghostbusters fan. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. This is not about misogyny. This is not about sexism. This is about good movies. And I got into it recently with somebody on in the comments on the original video about reboots. and remakes. And I said I think reboots could be done well, and I think they have in some instances. I wish they wouldn't. I wish they just wouldn't bother with them. But you know, if they're gonna make them, they can be done respectfully and well, to the point where it's, you know, it's a movie worth seeing. But they just haven't done it with this. Ghostbusters is not that. Ghostbusters 2016 is not for this guy. I guess I would fall into that category. He already has 2 great movies, a theme song, multiple toys, comics and props, and 173 episodes of a hit cartoon show. When it comes to stuff like this, man, it's just like, I gotta ask, like, how come, you know, can girls not be a fan of those things too? I mean, yeah, the stars were dudes, but I knew plenty of girls that were into Ghostbusters. And don't get me wrong, I think they should definitely have, you know, a chance. You know, they should have at least had some female Ghostbusters at some point in time. No doubt about it. It should have happened. It did in the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon series and some other places. I do the comic books, which are really awesome. Like, if you want some good Ghostbusters, go to IDW. That shit's good. Ghostbusters 2016 is for this awesome little lady. She needs heroes too. Well, a hero is genderless in my opinion. Like I was going to say a minute ago, they're saying, oh, we shouldn't have these social constructs, you know, the girls aisle and the boys aisle at the toy store and whatever. You know, it's everything should just meld together and flow together. Except when it's something like this. You know, girls can't have heroes that are boys. Boys can't have heroes that are girls. You know, we have to separate the two. Girls need their girl heroes. Boys need their boy heroes. Because, you know what? People like to have somebody they can relate to on the screen. Which is a biological thing. Which is something that's ingrained in us by evolution. But whenever you bring up that fact in other aspects, like, you know, the girls liking Barbies and boys liking action figures, that's learned behavior. But when it comes to representation, you know, oh, you got to have specifically girls. You know, it's got to be that and nothing else. Girls can't relate to anything but girls. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. And look, I agree. She needs heroes too. She has some, I would imagine. There's a lot of strong female characters out there. I mean, maybe it's still tilted a little bit to the males. I don't know. I would have to go through and look at every TV show and movie that's out there today and within the past however many years. But I know I've seen a lot of, you know, again, female-centric things. Yes, she needs heroes too, but she deserves better ones. She deserves a better movie than what this Ghostbusters 2016 looks like. That's what she deserves. She doesn't deserve a half-assed cash-in, you know, to get her heroes. Because like I said in my review of the trailer, I don't see this movie being as timeless as the original was. Just from what I've seen and what I've heard, it's just not there. It's not. You know, you can go on, I'm sure somewhere on Google you can find the leaked synopsis or whatever you want to call it. I'm sure you can, you know, you can go on and see the trailers for yourself. And Washington Post, man, the only thing I have to say about that is, like, you guys are like, what, 2 months late on this? You know, we've already went over this shit. Again, most people like myself and others could give two shits of what gender the characters are. What we care about is that you do justice to the source material. Okay? That you realize that you're messing around with a beloved franchise. That you are playing with some very beloved characters, settings, Firehouse, stuff like that. You're playing in that universe. And you better not fuck it up. You know, you better put some extra care into it. And the problem with that is that Paul Feig wanted nothing to do with this movie. Nothing at all. Look at this. Word has it that he only agreed to do it because Sony was like, hey, we'll hook you up for your next movie if you just do this Ghostbusters for us. I had been contacted several times about doing a sequel for Ghostbusters, and I just kept turning it down because I didn't know how to do it. And I think it's never been more apparent than what we've seen in the trailer so far. He didn't know what to do with it. Like, I don't know if I should fault him for it, but, you know, I do now, because he has to come out and call people like me assholes because we don't laugh at fucking hacky jokes from 50 years ago. I mean, there were like Three Stooges bits. And when you put together a trailer, at least a few of the jokes for a comedy movie and a comedy trailer need to be at least some of the best jokes in the movie. Like, if this trailer showcased the best jokes in this movie, which again, if that plot synopsis is true, is real, then this is as good as it gets in these trailers. It's not worth your money. It's not worth my money, you know? And I really hope that people don't force themselves to like this movie just because of the feminist angle they're taking with it. And just because Sony is already calling people like me, who really wanted this movie to be good, who was ready to root for female Ghostbusters, until I saw the trailer, and I'm like, what the fuck? No, you don't get half a million at this point dislikes on YouTube just for misogynists. Like, believe it or not, these people have a loud voice. These assholes have a loud voice, but they're not the majority. These fuck the women in the movie assholes, they're not the majority. So most of the people thumbing this thing down are people like me. Dude, go watch the original Ghostbusters. Tell me what makes that movie funny. It's the fucking dialogue. It's the chemistry between the main actors. You know, it's how they interact with each other. It's, you know, it's Bill Murray. God dang, man, he is insanely funny in that movie. I don't know. I was going to pull up the Washington Post article, but I feel like everybody else has already said about it what can be said about it. Again, I just wanted to do this video as a follow-up to be like, fuck you, Washington Post, and fuck you, Sony, because, again, here's something for you to Google, folks. I'm not going to do it, but it's out there. You know, it's definitely out there. You can even look for it on YouTube. You're here on YouTube right now. Just go up to that search bar and type in Sony deleting Ghostbusters comments. That's all you got to do. It's been proven that people will go on there and make some real constructive criticism, and next thing you know, it's gone. But the guy under them that said, fuck this movie with these ugly bitches in it, you know, like, or whatever the fuck they say, is still there. Why is that? Sony? Why would you delete the constructive criticism and leave the asshole remark? I've seen this happen in real time. There's videos of it. I've fucking tried it myself. It fucking works. You know, I don't know if they're still doing it, but there for a while, you could go on there and it was just all these sexist comments and not a bit of constructive criticism anywhere to be seen. And as far as Paul Feig goes, fuck you, dude. I mean, seriously, like, nobody's hating on your movie because you got a female cast. If that was the case, they would have hated on, you know, Bridesmaids would have fucking 500,000 dislikes. Spy would have 500,000 dislikes. You know, like, get the fuck over yourself. You know, you made a shitty movie. It's not our fault. You need to look in the mirror, Paul Feig. Get the fuck over yourself. And that's all I got to say. I'm out.